Hey guys, this is Max from MHS Prod. I've played so much with Cinema 4D and today I've decided to spend a bit more time in After Effects and I played with one of my favorite tools called Plexus. I've made by the past few tutorials that you can find in the description to import objects and made a few cool things with Plexus, and today I will show you how you can create this kind of nice structures with Plexus with this kind of nice colors, and you can apply this thing to any kind of object. So you can imagine having your model, your 3D model exploding in this kind of fun shape. This is a beginner tutorial, so it's made for the people that probably never used Plexus. This is a really simple setup for the people that are already using this plugin. So I hope you will enjoy this tutorial and have a great time by learning a new plugin on After Effects. One little thing before starting this tutorial, I invite you to join our YouTube channel and check out the content language in the upper right. I'm French, so I try my best to do English tutorials, but some of the content is in French, so take care. And you also have a full English advanced cinema tutorials with Stuzor's content, Yvan Fuzzy. You have a Skiva tutorial too. Really great content. I think if you're into Cinema 4D, you will learn a lot of things, interviews. Feel free to check out and use the search tool to find good things. I've also made, as I said by the past, a tutorial on Plexus and how to deal with objects. So I think you have the tools to go in depth if you liked what I will show you today. I also invite you to join our Facebook group if you're not into it. Please join it. You can share your renders, you can meet new people, you can have a lot of fun there. So it's called Motion Designers Community. You have the link under the description. And notice that with the community, we are a real community. It means that we've done physical events where people can meet, learn with each other. It was pretty fun, so stay tuned because we will try to do more and more of this kind of event. So if you enjoy the community, join it because it's going to be great. And by the way, we also have Discord, and it's so cool. Like today I've shared this small experiment and a few people start talking about great things. So the link is also in the description. Join it, have a great time with the community, a lot of great members, and that's so cool to do it. And last thing, if you want to follow us, we have our links under the description, so you can check our work. So I think we are ready to begin. Let's start. Let's start with a new scene and see a basic overview of Plexus and then start to do our effect. I'm into After Effects CC and I will click this to have a new composition. I click and I will stick with HGTV. So I can find the preset right there. I can let the length to 10 seconds and I will call this Plexus. When I'm happy, I click OK. You can also click OK if you're sad. I hit Ctrl and Y to create a new solid. I will select a fun color to be sure to catch it quickly with my eyes. So I click OK and call it Plexus. You know why? Because we will use Plexus on it. I can hit Ctrl and Spacebar if you have the FX Console plugin by Video Copilot and find directly my Plexus effect. This is a free plugin by Video Copilot, so you can download it on his website. But if you do not have it, just go on the right on your effects right there and type Plexus. You can drag and drop it here, or if you have your solid selected, just double click. You will have this little panel, but if you do not have it, just click open the Plexus object panel here on the left. Right now we have this nice panel. As you see, Plexus works with this panel and also on the left panel. At the moment I see nothing. That's because I do not have any object. So to add a geometry, you have several options. You can add layer, path, objects, like in my horse tutorial, primitive, instance, and slicer. Today we will deal with primitives. We can also add effectors, noise. It will displace or change the color of our particles based on different things. We have the spherical field. It's like a spherical noise to displace the particle, a container and a transform to apply some modification. We have the color map, so we will be able to color with our own gradient or colors or particle. Shade effector will displace the particle based on our own map, and sound effector will apply different things like noise to our particle based on sound. We have different renderers like points, line, facets, triangulation, and beams. Today we will use points, line, and facets. And you have groups to group your different plexus and make very complex setups. I hope that everything is clear and we will be able to start. I will go to Add Geometry and select a primitive. I have the choice between two primitives, a cube and a sphere. You can also import any kind of object by adding geometry object, but you need to have an object file that comes from your 3D software. So today we will stick with the primitives. You can change many parameters, the number of points, the width, the height, the depth, the faces, color, the opacity, but we will stick with this. To be able to navigate in our space, I will create a camera. I will hit right click, create a camera. I will call it camera, 35 millimeters and no depth of field at the moment. If I hit C or click on the unified camera tool, I'm able to move around my cube and I'm happy. Let's go back on my Plexus and I will hit the point size and enter 4 to have a bigger points. Right now I have bigger points. To move between this tool and this tool, just hit C or V. Right now I will add another renderer called lines, and I will also add facets. I will disable facets at the moment to see what's going on with our noise effector. So just add lines and points. Right now I will click on Effector and click on Noise. The noise effector is really nice because I can move this position, change the scale or the color based on the vertex or the faces. If I move it to the right or the left, you will see that my object is disappearing into this cool abstract shape. If I want to connect more or less points, I can go on my line renderers and move the maximum distance. It's really important to check because everything is connected. I'm happy and I can hit the facets renderer again and I will see this kind of facets. I can add more facets. I go there and I can up the maximum distance. And right now I have a nice pattern and I will be able to modify it. At any moment I can go back and tweak something and lower, for example, the number of points on my cube to change the aspect and have something more simple. Plexus is really nice and really fast. So you can imagine, use it to make a title design. Like, it's really easy to make some abstract environment really easily. Right now, we will see shade effector. So I will add a little light, this type, the punctual, the point light. In French it's called punctuel, but in English I think it's the point light. And okay, as you see, it didn't interact with our environment. So I will go back on Plexus, and I have an effector, and I will select shade effector. On my shade effector, I will be able to use my light, and I can change the ambience, it's the intensity, and I can also change the intensity of my light. And right now, if I'm moving my light, it will interact with my environment. So I made a little bit mistake in my mind when I explain it. The effector, the shade effector is to use lights and not use like a displacement map. In my mind it was this, but yeah, it's to use light, and that's pretty nice to use it, because if you lower a lot the shade effector, you can make really nice effects, like discovering all the particles. So it's pretty cool to use. Next thing, we will go into our Plexus option, and we will use unified rendering. If I use unified rendering, I will be able to use motion blur and depth of field. Unified rendering change the aspect of my particle, but I will be able to tweak more things and have a better quality. So I can add depth of field right there, and I can also change the render quality. For example, if I zoom and go for a higher render quality, I see that some lines will be more visible and with a better quality. I will go back on my camera and go in my camera option and add depth of field. So I will click yes. To set up my depth of field, I can go in my cameras and select personal view. I'm now able to navigate in the world and select by myself the depth. So I will move the depth point right on the light, for example. Go back and active camera, and for example, if I up the blur, I see how it looks. So right now I have something really sharp, and with depth it's becoming more and more blurry. So that's nice, and I'm able at any moment to animate my camera and navigate in the 3D space. Really easy, really quickly. I invite you to lower the quality and disable the depth of field to be able to move quicker in the 3D space. Right now we will focus on the look. So there's two ways to create colors. If you want something really colorful like this image, we will use the noise effector. But if you want to create your own map, you can also create a solid, call it map, apply, for example, a gradient, so in French it's called dégradé, pre-composite, call it color map, for example. You can disable it, and by adding the color map, you will be able to load the color map. And right now I have colors, so I can go here and change, for example, the colors to show you that it will change the color in the main composition. So I can stay with blue, blue, red, and say like orange, and all the colors are based on this. So that's the cool way to color this. But another cool way is to use the noise effector based on the color. So I will disable it, and I will go to my effectors and hit noise. Love it. I can, for example, use light for noise. It's also nice. And I will go apply noise to color. And right now, if I move to the right or the left, I'm able to color my Plexus. So it's pretty nice. If I click this, it changed the color only in the light position. And that's nice because you can animate the light. So if the light is moving, it will change the color. So that's really nice to create this kind of nice effect. I love it, but I will not use it. That's just to show you that it's possible. Let's go back with this. And the last thing is only to play with the global look. You can play also with the HSL colors. You will have different looks. I don't really like it. I prefer to stick with RGB, and we can play with negative values. It gives great colors. If you do not like it, you can also deactivate the facets renderer, and you can put back your color map and lower the noise, for example. So you have just a bit of randomness in your colors. So you can set something really simple like red, and say orange and orange, and just go back on Plexus and play with colors to add a little bit more of variation. I think it's nice to do really complex setups and nice colors. And the last thing is just to play. So go back to points. Maybe you can have a bigger size. Go back to lines. Maybe you want bigger lines. And it's just playing right now, moving your camera, animating the stuff. And it's really easy to animate and navigate around. Just take your camera, activate some keys, go at another point, move it, add some keys, do smoothings, and always be sure to also animate your depth of field. It's really important for the global animation to use and move it. So it can be the really nice start for a small title design environment. Like we are in 3D right now, I can add text and few things, and that's really cool. I can add more things, and that's nice. I hope you guys loved this Plexus overview and few tricks. I really love it because it's really simple to use. You can do so much great things, and feel free to check on the channel all the videos we have about Plexus, because you can do really nice things. Add a text, tutorial, put it in the 3D space. Always use this view to move your object. And now it's moving. That's nice. That's really nice and really fast. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time for new videos on Cinema 4D, After Effects, and a lot of cool tools. Bye!